Hello and welcome to this Sarah and Chutney philosophical world-building comedy with stuffed animals live stream. I am Sarah and this is Chutney, and if you are new here and you don't understand what is going on, Chutney is my stuffed animal hedgehog friend who I bought when I was 9 years old. And when I was 9 years old, we started to learn from Chutney about the world that she is from, which is called Chutasia. And what we tend to do in these streams is that we talk about the stories from Chutasia, different curious foods and culture and happenings of the Chutasian hedgehogs. And so today, there's going to be a couple different segments. So we're trialing the segments idea. We know that we want to do a segment where Chutney is going to do some horoscopes. And when I say Chutney, I mean she does talk. So I don't know, Chutney, do you want to say hello to the viewers?
Hello, yes, I'm going to be doing a segment on horoscopes where the audience is going to tell me their star signs and I'm going to tell them how lucky or not they will be this week.
And then also we want to have a go at doing a Chutney's meditation moment. Chutney's mindfulness with Chutney. I don't know what we're gonna. It needs a good name. If anyone has a good name for that, Chutney's considerations with Chutney. No, I don't know. We'll have to figure it out. But Chutney's going to lead a guided meditation in the Chutasian fashion. So that will also be coming. And there'll probably be a segment about a story at some point, and what I want to begin with today is just having a casual go through my world-building notes and seeing... Sprite Guard is with us. Hello. So I'm going to be having just a little look through some of my notes and kind of just sharing with you some random things that come up. Yeah, so it's going to be a bit more of a casual one, I have to say, as a bit of a behind the scenes. So this is the third stream, the third Sarah and Chutney stream. I think you're more natural on this side. This is going to be the third Sarah and Chutney stream, and it's probably the one that I wouldn't say I'm least prepared for it, because in many ways I'm most prepared for it, because this is the third one, and we have an idea now about what to expect and how all of the different controls work for streaming. But in terms of like actual ideas, it's not like I don't have any ideas, but this is the first one where I'm kind of like, I don't necessarily have a clear knowledge yet of where the stream will take us. So in many ways it will be guided by our viewers. If they do have any specific questions, our viewers do tend to be the ones who suggest philosophical questions and quite challenging things to Chutney, which we can look forward to. So I'm just going to take a technical moment. I thought I would try swapping those two screens over, but I don't like it, so I'm putting them back how it was previously. So yeah, this is partly what I'm showing is a creative process in some way, which is, what is the experience of... I just spat everywhere as well. Anyway, what is the experience of somebody who has an imaginary world or a creative fantasy world and they want to share it online? What is that like? What are the ups and downs? What are the difficulties? So I'm trying to be a bit real about that as well. So I've still not quite figured out exactly the streaming setup. I can either see YouTube, but I am like 10 seconds behind here, or I can look at myself live, but then I'm not looking at YouTube. So anyway, that's problems for me. But my hope is, one day, sorry, okay, we just hit the mic. Okay, right. One day when Chutney has her theme park, and we look back on these earlier streams and we go, oh, how young and naive or whatever. Then we can see how far we came. So let's just try and get the microphone to not fall over. Right, there we go. Okay, on to first segment, which is we're gonna look at some notes. So some people, it's annoying holding you.
My name is in the channel title. You can't just get rid of me.
Well, Sarah and Chutney off screen. All right, so let's get open our notes. So I did have a go at sort of writing a script, but again, as a kind of behind the scenes sort of thing, I came up with these scripts of different things, different topics I could talk about. And then I was like, Like, what's what's the point of it being live if it's all scripted? So, and then at some point I just opened the notebook and I was just laughing at some of the things written in it. And I was like, well, I should just do that. Should just do that live. So let me open it. Because, of course, all right, now I've got to mess up my thing that I just made. Okay, right, there we go. Right. Where are we? Okay, so I described in the past that I have a sort of world building Bible, or not exactly. I mean, I'm not very good at organizing all of my notes. But hold on, sorry, I can't get it to work. That's what I need. Pop out chat. That's what I want. Okay, right. Chat goes there. That goes there. Right. Okay. Right. I'm sorted now.
Oh my god, I'm gonna fire you. I'm gonna hire someone else instead.
I'm not sure that you can, Chutney.
I would have set this up completely better than you have.
All right. Chutney, I think you should like sing a song while I'm figuring this out. I don't know why I didn't do this earlier. All right, there we go. Okay, right. Windows are sorted out. So yeah, we'll start talking through, so I do have a world building Bible of sorts, a collection of notes, and they're sort of averagely organized. They're kind of organized, and then there's a whole section at the end of what I named well-written notes for ingestion, where I have some sort of faith that some future version of myself will go through all of these notes and put them into the correct categories. And that is something that I've found that AI is kind of helpful with. I know people are sort of a bit skeptical about AI and this kind of thing, but in terms of organizing my notes, it works very well. I don't want it to write any ideas for me because I can do that myself.
Can you? I said it was me. It's not ideas. I was telling you the truth.
Oh, you were telling me the truth. So it's not ideas. It's
I remember things.
Chutney remembers things and then I write them down. So we don't need AI to help Chutney remember things. Doesn't make sense. But AI can be pretty helpful if I've got well-written notes for ingestion, and then it can put them under the correct character pages. So that's a bit of a behind the scenes about how these notes are structured. So I'm in the category which is called individuals, as opposed to groups. For some reason, I separated the sort of characters from individual characters like groups. So groups would be like, like the Chutasian royal family, but an individual character would be like Chutney to Spike Erinacieux, which of course is Chutney's full name, Chutney to Spike Erinacieux. So I'm looking at my kind of like extended character section. So these are sort of characters who...
Hello, Sean. It's good to have you here.
It's good.
You were copying what I was saying.
We got confused then about who was speaking. So some of these are like sort of minor characters, rather than sort of, big characters like Chutney, or is Woofy a big character?
Woofy is my character.
Okay, Woofy's not going to be on the Sarah and Chutney stream then. If Woofy's not part of Chutasia, well, he's sort of part of Chutasia by extension. So we're going to start off, it's in alphabetical order. The first character I'm going to skip because it's part of a bigger thing. But we have Blackout Blind the Bandit. So Blackout Blind the Bandit is a criminal notorious for intercepting lorries on their way from Hogho to the factories in Slugtech. So let's talk a bit around that. Rather than me just read from here, let me share the map. So we can see here on the map, on the left-hand side, there is Slugtech Hogho. Slugtech is at the top and Hogho is at the bottom. And we can see there is a big bit that says factories. And then you see Centipede Desert and Wildlands. So Blackout Blind the Bandit is a criminal who intercepts the materials going from the coast of Hogho. They need to get to the factories in the top of Slugtech, and through the Centipede Desert they get intercepted and a lot of the ingredients get stolen. And if you may have seen one of my other videos where we talked about sand biscuits, which is a type of biscuit that you can get in Slugtech, where basically all of the ingredients for the biscuits were kind of like looted on the way to the factories and swapped for sand. So in the end, they just make the biscuits with sand. So that's a little background about these factories, the factories of slug tech. So Blackout Blind the Bandit is notorious for intercepting lorries on their way from Hog Ho to the factories in slug tech. He made Chutasia-wide news for his record of intercepting all lorries carrying raisins for an entire year. So, why was he intercepting raisins, Chutney? Well, he doesn't like raisins and he doesn't want raisins in his biscuits. He would much prefer chocolate chips. So what he did, and he intercepted all the lorries so that no factories could produce raisin cookies, which I think, actually, if you're someone who doesn't like raisins, that's quite a reasonable response. So he didn't like raisins, but in blocking the supply chain, factories were forced to use chocolate chips in the sand biscuits instead of raisins, which he preferred. And if we do look again at our map, you can actually see at the top. Can I make this bigger? Let's see. Oh, this is like PowerPoint Live or something. Right, there we go. You can actually see there is a biscuit. Well, a sand biscuit with some dark splodges. I do not know if they are raisins or chocolate chips. I suppose that's up to the viewer, the receiver of the map, the interpreter of the map, to decide whether they are chocolate chips or raisins. So, we have a question coming in, Chutney. I may have missed it, but is there a reason they don't have ports in the north to avoid the desert crossing? Well, let's have a look at the map. Chutney, you can be thinking on your feet. Is there a reason why? Well, so the top of slug tech here. Wow, this is really, I feel like I'm a teacher. I feel like I'm a school teacher. Oh, hold on, I don't even know where a good place to put this is. You can see all along the top is all icy, so there's a load of mountains up there. I don't know why they don't go in the side. Why don't they go in the side, Chutney?
Because this would make too much sense. This is a very good idea. I think we're going to have to hire Sprite Guard.
There must be a reason why.
For historical political reasons, it is not possible to have ports in slug tech.
Okay. I'll believe you on that one. Maybe Chutney will have to have a little think about what those historical political reasons are.
Well, there aren't any lorry drivers who live in slug tech.
Okay.
They all live in Hog Ho and they want to go home.
Okay. Oh, okay. Well, all right. That makes sense. There you go. That's the reason why.
Yes, it's not a very popular profession in slug tech. In slug tech, they prefer to work in the factories and they don't want to be on the road as such.
It all makes sense now. So, where's my mouse gone?
Well, there aren't any mice in Chutasia.
No, my mouse. There we go. Right, the next one I can see. I am skipping some people because I see the name and then I think, oh God, do I really want to explain who that person is? The next one is, of course, the Cardboard Monster.
Oh my God, the Cardboard Monster, no!
That was very funny. So the Cardboard Monster is a fictional legendary creature.
No, I don't think he's fictional.
It's a fictional legendary creature with a basis in old Chutasian mythology. In many Chutasian cultures, hedgehogs have traditions of leaving cardboard by the front door of their house out of superstition. Supposedly, offering cardboard by the threshold of your house would deter the cardboard monster from entering, seeking out cardboard from your cupboards. Apparently there was a later addition to the story that said, nibbling the toes of little hoglets.
Ah, I don't want my toes nibbled by the cardboard monster.
So that's why you need to leave cardboard by your door so that the cardboard monster doesn't come in, try to eat your cardboard and nibble your toes. Mostly the cardboard monster story is told only to children and not genuinely believed by Chutasians today.
Oh, I mean, I'd never believe that.
Okay.
I'm not scared of the cardboard monster.
Okay. However, there is growing academic interest in the mythological origins of this superstition. Wow. Well, that sounds clever. We can do another one. Yes, of course. So we're still on the letter C. Where's my mouse gone?
There aren't any mice in Chutasia.
It's my computer mouse. I don't think there are any computer mice in Chutasia either. The next character is called Carrutso. Carrutso is an opera singer by night and a public health campaigner by day. He eats so many carotene. Hold on, we need to describe what carotene is.
I don't think you're pronouncing it correctly. I think it's carotene.
Okay, sorry. Carotene.
Yes, carotene.
Carotene, or is it carotene?
It could be pronounced carotene or carotene.
She's never said it that way before. Why are you revealing to me on a live stream that there is a new pronunciation of this word? I thought it was carotene.
I can hear laughter coming from the other room, and I find it very destabilizing.
So, carotene, or carotene, or what was the other one?
Carotene.
Is a carrot-like vegetable. It's basically just carrots.
No, it's not. It's carotene.
And so, this opera singer, he's an opera singer by day and a public health campaigner by night. And Carrutso, the opera singer, he eats so many carrots that he has turned orange. And he is using his image as an orange hedgehog to raise awareness to others about the danger of eating too many carrots. So partly what he's doing is he's an opera singer, but he's also a public health campaigner about the danger of turning orange if you eat too many carrots. However, there's a little twist in this story. The question would be, well, why is he still eating all the carotene?
It's carotene.
Why is he still eating all the carotene?
It's carotene.
Okay. Why is he still eating all the carotene? Well, it's because he thinks it makes him sing better. And so actually by sort of spreading the message, oh, don't eat carrots, he's actually sort of like warding off, not warding off, he's not evil.
It's not an evil spirit.
He's like discouraging competition. He's keeping the beautiful singing for himself by being the one who eats all of the carrots and telling everyone else, oh, I don't think you should eat carrots.
It's not carrots. You need to redo the whole thing. It's not carrots. This is very unscientific. It's carotene.
I thought it was carotene. Right. So, I have a note in in my thing. I have a section on Carrutso with this story that I have just described, and then I've just written, see also carrot. And we do have a question in the chat about the plural of carrot. So we have someone asking, is that the Chutasian Luxembourgish pronunciation of carotene?
Carotene is spelled incorrectly.
Let's see if we can we write can we write in the chat how to spell carotene? Carotene. Is that right, Chutney? Do you want to check I've spelled it right? There used to be this thing where Chutney used to pretend that she couldn't read, but she actually can. I don't know what that was all about, right? Carotene. Yeah, exactly. Or carotene. So the Chutasian our Chutasian Luxembourgish expert is not here. So what is Chutasian Luxembourgish? Because for people who may not know, what is that? There is a character who we've been getting to know who is called Schusslicki. And I can't quite say Schusslicki's name.
It's Schusslicki.
Schusslicki. And Schusslicki is a character a personality. He is someone from Chutasia who is convinced that he is a made-up character or that he doesn't exist. And so Schusslicki goes through all the different libraries in Chutasia looking for a mention of his name because he's convinced that he will find himself in a book because he thinks that he's not real. And I think maybe he's onto something there. We did discuss Schusslicki quite a lot in some of the other live streams, so I'm working on clipping those out so that there can be like a bit of a catch up on Schusslicki for other people. But Schusslicki speaks Chutasian Luxembourgish, which I think we did say he comes from an island. It comes from near Wormacon. I don't know if I can do my fancy map. Let's have a look. I think Wormacon. Where is it? Here. Yeah. I think we said. I don't think you can't see my pointer, but you see. Oh, hold on.
Hello.
Wait, I need to go like that.
I am introducing the Chutasian map.
I don't know if there's any way. Oh yeah, hold on. This is a bit risky to do live. Let's just try if I can do this. This will be very funny if I can get it to work. Color. Add a new color. Wow. I am still here. I am still here. Everything's fine. Yeah, that's fine. Okay, and then I go like this. Okay, hold on. This is some sort of genius happening in real time. Hold on. Hold on. No, I need to change the ratio thing. Properties. Wow. Okay, hold on. Height. Let's make that a lot smaller. Maybe a bit smaller than that. I think you can see where we're going.
Professor Chutney is entering into the building.
Right, can we change? Yeah. What do you want? Pink. All right. Okay. Hold on. Wow. Okay. This is. I am driving a very complicated vehicle at this moment.
Okay, I'm going to try to show you. Wait, hold on. We need to get the illusion correct. Okay, I'll be like this. Let's see. Yes, it's working. Oh no.
Wow, this is actually extremely good coordination practice. Hold on. Okay. Chutney is going to try and point us to... I still think it's a bit tall, actually. Hold let's just make that a bit smaller. All right.
Welcome to Chutney school.
Let's just... this is really like proper improv right now. I don't even know how this software... I don't even know how this software works. Let's try this. Text. Okay, hold on. Okay. Chutney's school. Okay. Here we go. Right, there we go.
It's not a school, it's a university.
Okay, well, I don't want to change it. Okay. Right, here we go. We're doing some live animation. Do you actually know which of these islands is where Schusslicki is from? Did I make all of that for no reason?
Wait, hold on. I am going to point. Wait, no. I'm going to point to... Hold on. Yes, it's working. Schusslicki. I don't know which one he's from. I think he's from up there. Schusslicki is from these islands. There we go. Schusslicki is from these islands off the top of Wormicon, where they speak a dialect called Chutasian Luxembourgish, but it's not called Luxembourg. Anyway, thank you for attending this class. Back to the normal procedure.
Right, okay, let me figure out how to go back. There we go. Okay, right. Whew. That was some live animation. That was... I think I might be a genius.
It was my idea.
I didn't see you come up with it. I think I was doing that. Right, we do have... so why were we talking about Schusslicki? Yeah, is the Chutasian Luxembourgish pronunciation of Carrutso or Carrutso or Carrutso, sorry. So Schusslicki. So our Chutasian Luxembourgish expert is not in the room. So we can ask Max, which of these pronunciation, and you can put the number in the chat. Okay, is it 1?
Carrutso.
Is it 2?
Carrutso.
Or is it 3?
Carrutso.
Or is it 4? None of them. I don't even know if they were the same pronunciation that I was doing before.
That I was doing before.
Okay. 2 or 3? Which one? Oh, we'll have to look back. Right, we do have a message in the chat. Hi, Sarah and Chutney. Of course, depending on the specific Chutasian Luxembourgish accent.
Of course. He is hired. Much better than you.
I'm curious about you and Chutney sharing the same essence. I was just looking at your other... I was simultaneously reading out loud one question whilst reading in my head the other one, and something amazing happened in my head. So... I'm curious about you and Chutney sharing the same essence. When you aren't feeling well, does Chutney get sick too? When Chutney is sad, do you feel sad as well? Are there any other examples? So, let's go into our philosophical world building mode. Hold on, I'm a pro YouTuber now. Let me put this here. There we go. Put that there. And then we can press the fancy bookmark tool, which will be helpful for me later. Yeah, normally after I finish these streams, I have to spend like 3 hours watching the whole stream back, trying to add all the chapters. But there is a little tool I can use to put a little bookmark, so that's what I've done. Right, so we are answering the question. So Chutney and I share the same essence. We've discussed that before. When I'm not feeling well, does Chutney get sick too? Let's have a think while we read the rest of the question. And when Chutney is sad, do I feel sad as well? Other examples? Well, I think that it's hard to separate. Like when somebody that you care about or that you love or that you spend a lot of time with, when they feel when they're in pain or they feel sad, to some degree, you experience some sort of empathy. I think that might actually be called somatic empathy. I was reading about it today, actually. So then that is like somatic empathy is when you sort of feel that you feel someone else's pain. It can be kind of like when somebody steps on a piece of Lego and you're like, oh, that would be somatic empathy. So what you're asking me is kind of like, how much of what we share would be somatic empathy? Like if Chutney's feeling sad, I feel sad, or how much of it is the shared essence? I would say there's kind of hard to separate out that actually, because they probably feed into each other to some degree. Hold on. I'm still learning how to do this. I've got like 3 moving images of my face right in front of me. And I just can't. Right, that'll do. Okay, let's put that there. Okay. So, I think when I feel ill, I don't think Chutney feels ill. She might feel sorry for me.
I don't know. Yeah, I expect videos to be published on YouTube. I'm a very tough boss.
Okay. So the illness, I don't feel it. But for instance, when Chutney's eye got broken off, I mean, I wouldn't say that my eye hurt, so it wasn't like that, but like I did feel for her. But again, that would probably be more like some sort of somatic empathy if you really want to go down that route. And when our emotions so we don't seem to share feeling hurt. Although I don't know, maybe Chutney is a bit more irritable. Like if I don't know, got a stomachache or something, maybe it comes out a bit in other ways. Like she wouldn't necessarily herself have a stomachache, but she might be a bit more irritable or a bit more moody or something like that. So maybe there is a link, but it's not super clear cut. And when I'm feeling sad, does she feel sad? Well, again, maybe the sort of empathy thing, but I don't think. I think we influence each other, but I don't think that it's perfect mirror. Is my current understanding, but I'm open-minded. We'll have to have a think about that.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay. Anything to offer? No. Okay. We do have some other questions. We have an interesting comment. Sean said, "Thanks, Chutney, and a human mind-controlled servants for making me smile." Oh,
yes, this is exactly what she is. I couldn't have said it better myself. A human mind controls. Yes, she's my servant. She will make me a theme park owner.
A theme park owner, or have your own theme park?
We go over this every stream.
So, we also have some information about the pronunciation of Carrutso. Also, seeing the Chutasian map makes me wonder whether Chutasia is round like planet Earth. Also, does Chutasia have an outer space with other planets? So this is an interesting one. I think that in fact, I might have discussed this a little bit. Not to say I'm not going to discuss it on the stream. I'm going to talk about it right now. But I think I did cover this a little bit in the past. I want that back now. There we go. Put that there. There we go. Right. So, can you tell us, Chutney, please, a bit more about Chutasia and the planet that it's on, and a bit more about the geography and the places?
Yes, I can.
Do you want me to get the little pink thing again?
No. So Chutasia is on a planet actually, called Petahog. And so there are some other realms on the planet as well. So there is a realm called Chusala, which is the neighbor of Chutasia. And so the reason why the Chutasian map isn't stylized like a globe is because it's not. It's just a realm on part of a planet, and we haven't been to all of the different realms yet, so we don't know the other bits.
In fact, actually, it's very difficult for the hedgehogs to go to the other realms. In fact, well, let's just touch on Chusala. So Chusala is a known neighbor, and they are. If I show on the map, oh, here we go. There we go. Oh, nope. Oh, there we go. Didn't even know I could do that. Right, there we go. Here we go. Let's do a bit of live show and tell. Right, so I believe that Chusala is sort of to the right. It sort of curves around the edge. So I think some of the boats that come into Chusala, actually, Chutney, we need your little we need your little thing again. Hold on. So this place up here. Oh, there we go.
I'll balance it on my head.
All right, why don't you talk and I'll move the pink thing. So this that we're pointing to here, where it says Catching Cliffs, where that's written, and you can see a boat. This here is called the Strait of Bendy, or if you will, the Bendy Strait. and this is where a lot of the illegal ships come into Chutasia through here, and we can talk about that a bit more on another day, because Chutney actually knows a lot of the people who come on those ships. Actually, we have some of them with us. Hold on, this is a live stream. We can go off piste if we want. So Mr. Squirrel, who's from Chusala, he actually has his ship, and he has sailed into here, into Catching Cliffs, and you also have Mr. Sprinkles the Unicorn, who very frequently comes into Chutasia via the Bendy Strait. But we need a bit more background, so let's get rid of that. Right. So I think rewind. We need to say some of the background history actually about Chutasia and okay. So where do we begin? Maybe I do it in my voice.
I want to do it in my voice.
No, I don't want to get a sore throat. So, in Chutasia, they are not particularly interested in space, or they're not currently interested in space. The Erinacieux Misto men, who are sort of come from a former civilization, the Erinaciouan civilization from the island of Erinacieux, they were quite into astronomy. So a lot of the more ancient Chutasian cultures were into astronomy, and they did sort of know about the stars and things like that. But then later Chutasian hedgehogs, well, as I say, they kept falling asleep and things like that. So they lost a lot of their knowledge. And in currently Chutasians, they, hold on, there we go. A lot of them don't really believe in realms outside of Chutasia. It's a bit of a weird one. It's kind of like a government control kind of thing. And because Chutasia only has hedgehogs in it, a lot of them kind of only think that hedgehogs are like the only kind of animals that exist. Obviously, they're not animals. Well, in Chutasia, actually, they're kind of like stuffed toys. They're like, she looks like that in Chutasia. So they don't look like real hedgehogs in Chutasia.
I am a real hedgehog. A real Chutasian hedgehog. Ha!
Okay. Right. So a lot of them in Chutasia, they've never even seen another species, another type of toy. And actually that feeds into some of the religions that happen, because when some of the other animals do sort of kind of come into Chutasia, they will often be seen as some sort of god or some sort of prophet. For example, there is a whole religion around a raccoon that came into Chutasia, who's called Kunra, and we cannot go into Kunra and Yentuchuk and whatever. But So there are they only know hedgehogs currently, and they don't have the current Chutasians don't really have much knowledge about space and things like that, but they used to. And they don't travel outside of Chutasia, and they don't really know what's beyond Chutasia except the couple few who have interacted with some of the other beings who are from Chusella, who kind of illegally come into Chutasia with trade and things that are sort of illegal or banned in Chutasia. For example, blueberries. There's the Queen, Chutney's mum, does not like blueberries and had all of the blueberries kind of like eradicated from Chutasia. So now if you want blueberries, you need to get them illegally brought in by ship through the Bendy Strait. By Chusellan smugglers, and of course that is called the blue market instead of the black market. Right. So going back a bit more to that, actually there have been pockets of hedgehogs who are sort of explorers who will try to see what's on the other side of Chutasia. I don't know if I actually described that when I had the map open. So Chusella, oh no, not moving the wrong one. Chusella sort of, oh, hold on. I think this is quite fun. There we go. Chusella sort of curves around the outside of here. So all the way from the bottom of Sloom, all the way around here to Catching Cliffs, like that. And if I go like this, you can see up here, there is... I don't know what the viewing experience is like right now. But here, you see where there is some ice. That's because this corner up here is very icy. And I believe that there is a land beyond here, which the hedgehogs call... let me just reveal myself again. There we go. And the hedgehogs call the Great Externa. And there is a video you can find on my channel, which is called Father Hog, I think it's called. It was quite a while ago, a year and a half ago, I think. It's like it's sort of like a Christmas story. Father Hog is a hedgehog who ventured into the Great Externa, and there is a story about that. I won't spoil it. But there's a song as well, so you can find that video later. The story of Father Hog and the song that goes with it. So, where did I get to with answering that question? So is it round like planet Earth? So Petahog, I believe, as far as I know, is a planet and is round, and on it is Chutasia and Chusella and the Chutasian Great Externa. We think
we claimed it as Chutasian even though we've not discovered it yet.
It's called the Chutasian Great Externa, even though they don't know what is beyond. I think, if I remember correctly, they have 2 suns and 3 moons, and that was talked about a bit. I have a series about the Chutasian calendar, where you can hear a bit more about those suns and those moons. If I remember correctly, it's called the Moon 1, and the Moon Final, or something like that. I've probably ruined my own joke, but yeah, the moons are just called like, you know, like...
You're over-explaining the joke. I think they understand. You're over-explaining the joke. It's like when you save something on your computer and you call it like Chutney, and then you want to save another one, and so you call it Chutney 2, and then you go, oh, I want to save another one, so then you do Chutney _ final. Yeah, that's the joke.
Okay.
Is it funnier when we explain everything? You're rubbish.
Oh. I think Chutney is interesting. You know, we were talking in one of the other live streams about psychology and like what Chutney might represent in my mind, and what hold on, all of the cuddly toys gonna fall, and what tropical represents. You know, tropical would never say that to me. Tropical would never say you're rubbish.
Yeah, I'm not tropical.
So I don't know exactly psychologically the kind of thing that's happening. I think Chutney might have sort of slowly started becoming my critical parent. I don't know. So we will have to do some more psychological analysis on that. Let's put you there and here. So, does Chutasia have an outer space with other planets? I'm sure it does, but the Chutasians, at least, are not. Sorry, I don't know what happened. I just started making weird noises. Anyway, so the Chutasians, at least, are not particularly familiar with their planets and their stars and stuff. They do have a bit of this passed down, passed down, passed down,
Pasta down! Yay, it's pasta down! I like pasta.
No, okay. It is passed down from the sort of older civilizations. However, this being said, we do have Chusellans in our midst, including, for instance, Mr. Squirrel.
Hello, I'm Mr. Squirrel.
You need to talk a bit louder.
Ah.
Anyway, Mr. Squirrel and Chusella, they know a bit more about space. So maybe in time, Mr. Squirrel will be able to tell us more about that. But yeah, okay. There's been quite a lot of activity in the chat. I need to get a bit caught up. So I'm gonna leave that. Wow, Chutasians thinking there is no world outside of Chutasia is similar to the video game Dragon Quest VII, which starts on an island many people think to be the entire world. Okay, what do you make of that, Chutney? Did you copy it?
No, I didn't copy it. I don't know anything about Dragon Quest. It's nothing to do with me. I didn't make it up.
Always guilty. A very guilty conscience.
Yeah.
We were talking the other day in the stream, we were talking about dragons in Chutasia, the Chutasian dragons, and it became clearer after the stream actually, that Chutasian dragons are like earth hedgehogs. I think they might breathe fire.
They might breathe fire. I don't know. No one's ever seen it for sure.
Because how I kind of imagine it is like if there was some sort of Chutasia film or Chutasia animation or something, like Chutasia we think is just stuffed animals. We used to have this kind of theory that this was like a representation of Chutney's Chutasian body, and I think it's still slightly a representation because, for example, I don't know how exactly she would walk. She would shuffle. I don't know. Maybe I am assuming too much about the sort of physics of Chutasia and the sort of movement in Chutasia. Like, that's not a problem. Is that a problem? I mean, she would have to be leaning forward in order to walk, or not. Like, maybe in Chutasia, just science is just different there, and it's fine. You can just drag your bottom along the floor. I don't know. But yeah, we've understood pretty much over time that probably what Chutasia looks like is stuffed animals who are talking, and probably the landscapes are probably made of like fabrics and things like that. So they have these mountains. Now I can show you. You see in the middle, blanket mountains, and it's become clear that the blanket mountains is probably blankets, like what we would call blankets. So the world that they inhabit is quite different. And so going back to Chutasian dragons, what I imagine is if you imagine a sort of like, a kind of almost, what would you call, wow, what's that called? Stop animation, stop frame animation. Oh no, what's it called? Stop.
I don't know. Your idea.
There's the type of animation where like you take a picture like that, then like that, then like that, and then you move it all together. If you imagine like a sort of version of that with sort of stuffed toys and a sort of fabric, then a dragon would be like a real hedgehog. Like among all the sort of blankets and sort of sewn together trees, like probably like leaves would look like that, like he's meant to be a pineapple, right? Or a sort of hybrid hedgehog pineapple. That these leaves, that's probably what leaves in Chutasia look like. That's real to them. So if you imagine a kind of environment of sort of leaves and blankets and stuff, and then like an actual earth hedgehog sort of climbing through it, I think that would be really funny as like a sort of Chutasian dragon.
What do you mean that would be really funny? That's true. I decree it the truth. It is said and brought into being.
There must be like a quote actually from the Bible or something, or one of those creation myths, some sort of quote about, like I don't know, God spoke it and it came into being or something like that. There must be some phrase like that. And I'd love to sort of say that sometimes, maybe not the exact one from the Bible, but like my own version of that. To sort of explain this thing that like we say the words and then it comes into being.
We don't need to copy from other people. We can just make our own phrase. Let's say we say the words and it comes into being.
No, but it's not very poetic. I wanted something with more like gravitas.
Chutney said it and it was so. Chutney wished it and it came into being.
Yeah.
Can I think of another one? Chutney, all-powerful, almighty, all-amazing, super beautiful Chutney, said this, and therefore it is always true.
Wow, that one was really catchy, the one at the end. So there's a conversation happening about Dragon Quest. And thank you, Sean, for being concerned about my ability to follow what you guys are talking about while I'm just here playing with my cuddly toys, and then you guys are over there talking about Dragon Quest.
Don't worry, we're fine, Mummy. We can just be ourselves over here. It doesn't matter. You don't have to watch. We're just background noise. They're not even watching. Fine. I can just make up things and nobody would even notice.
Okay, she's getting a bit upset.
I'm not upset. I'm not angry. Do I seem angry?
Yeah, you seem a bit angry. All right. I hear Chutasian dragons breathe helium, and their roars are not particularly intimidating as a result. That would be very funny if their roars were just like super high pitched. I mean, I don't know what the atmosphere of Chutasia is. You might think that maybe Chutasian atmosphere has a high amount of helium, a high percentage of helium, and obviously like they don't breathe and they don't have lungs, so it doesn't impact them. But it could be that Chutney's voice is kind of high. I don't know, but it could be, yeah, as you say, like if you took a earth hedgehog that could roar. I don't know what noises hedgehogs make actually. I think they sort of grunt a bit. Yeah, they could have like a sort of high pitched squeak.
It's absolutely terrifying.
I thought you'd never seen a Chutasian dragon.
I suppressed it in my memory because it was so traumatic.
Okay. The story is changing. I'm pretty sure last week you said that you didn't even know what a Chutasian dragon looked like.
Yes, but, as the quote goes, all-powerful, almighty, all-beautiful Chutney said so, and now it is.
That's not it was a different quote.
Yes, but this is so funny. We should just keep saying as the quote says, but then say it different every time.
Yes, okay. All right, yes, exactly. As the quote says, but then keep saying it differently. Yeah, that's exactly what I would do. Okay. Yes, that type of animation is called stop motion. Okay. Chutasian creation myth. Yeah. Is Chutasia about the size of Earth, or is it closer to the size of a continent or series of continents on Earth?
Well, the truth is, it's impossible to compare them because no one has ever put Earth and Chutasia side by side.
Wow, okay.
Yeah. It's all relative in the end.
She said so. All right, I'll take your answer on that, Professor Chutney. It's more than just listening. There's a community of fans of Sarah and Chutney, a fan club. I don't know what that means.
But I have a fan club. Oh my god. This is the beginning of my theme park.
This theme park obsession is a new thing. She didn't used to talk about that.
Yes, but when you're on a live stream and you're not totally sure what to say all of the time, you create topics that act as like a safety blanket. And it's clear that my safety blanket is my theme park.
Okay.
Yes, whenever I think I don't really know what to say, I just say I want a theme park.
Sean is apologising, Chutney, for not totally focusing on you.
Okay, good. Yeah. I'll try to forgive you, but my heart is broken. Just kidding. Actually, I wasn't just kidding. It's okay, Sean. I forgive you. Sean is one of my biggest fans. I think someday, this channel will be called Sean and Chutney. And I will deliver frozen shrimps in Missouri.
I can sort of imagine that, like Chutney in a sort of van or something. Okay. All right, well, shall we move on to one of our planned segments? We have a planned segment where, well, okay, viewers can choose. So we have 4 viewers. I don't know, I can put up a poll, but for 4 viewers, it's a bit much. I don't know. I can put a poll if you... Actually, let's use this opportunity to practice using the poll. Okay, engage with your audience. Start a poll. Oh, if I don't ruin my setup. What segment should we do first? Question mark. The first option is horoscope. Chutney will tell you your horoscopes for the coming week. The second choice is meditation, guided meditation by Chutney. And I've clicked start poll. So let's see. Let's see how this works. This is a good opportunity to test. Yeah, it's good that we're testing this actually because it's not really working very well. So far it says 100% vote. Oh, I really need to fix this. Hold on, let me get rid of the chat a moment. I can't see the chat. Okay. Oh no, did I close the poll?
Oh my god, I'm gonna fire you.
Why do you say, oh my god? Shouldn't you say, oh my hod? Because hod is the Chutasian deity. There we go. So I don't know what's wrong, but in my view of the chat, I can't view the poll results. I can see. Oh, there we go. Oh, you have to click on it. Oh, honestly, who designed this? She says. Right, okay. We've had 3 votes, but we do have 5 viewers. So I'll just give them people a chance to click. Otherwise, we'll move on. While I just reset all my screen. There we go, like that. And then we go like this. Okay. Right, we'll go with the poll now. There's one lurker. We see you.
Hello, Mr. Lurker. Yeah.
All right. So you voted for horoscope. End poll. There we go. There we go. What segment should we do first? Horoscope or guide? Okay, 3 votes. Oh, cool. All right. Well, that was a cool feature. That was fun. Right. Let's just prepare. I might just have a drink just for a second. Chutney, you can be thinking about the horoscopes. While Chutney's thinking about horoscopes, can you put your star signs in the chat, please? This is going to be a real horoscope section. Okay. Right. Welcome to this week's horoscope segment with Sarah and Chutney. We are awaiting our viewers to tell us what their star signs are. But maybe we can just do some I should have actually opened the star signs. I wonder if there are Chutasian star signs. Well, I think that goes back to the question, doesn't it, around the stars and planets. in Chutasia. I know that
There is one constellation that I do know in the Chutasian night sky, and it is called the Little Weasel constellation.
it's called the Little Weasel. And there's some obviously interesting analysis on the fact it's called Little Weasel, but they only know hedgehogs. And that's part of how you can prove that it's from, it must be passed down ancient knowledge of when they used to interact with their neighbours in Chusella or something, because otherwise how would they know what a weasel was?
That's very clever.
Thank you. Right. Aquarium. Isn't it Aquarius?
Aquarium. In Chutasia, one of the star signs is actually called Aquarium. I'm going to start with the star sign called Aquarium. Watch out. This week you may encounter a lot of water. If you encounter too much water, you might turn into a fish. But obviously, if you're from Chutasia, that is, of course, a vegetable fish, and formerly known as fish. Have a good week to all my aquariums. Okay, next one.
The next one is Virgo. I can hear you laughing.
It wasn't meant to be funny. This is a very serious segment. This is people's future we're talking about.
Right, okay. Virgo.
Oh, it's not a good week to be a Virgo.
Oh, okay. Anything more to say about that?
If you encounter somebody wearing a red jumper, you need to walk up to them and say, "Hello, I like your red jumper." Otherwise, something terrible will happen.
Okay, but if you don't encounter someone wearing a red jumper...
Oh, yeah, don't worry about it. Everything will be fine.
Okay.
If anything, I would stay indoors at home all the time to make sure you don't encounter anybody wearing a red jumper.
Okay, this is quite serious stuff.
Yes, all of my Virgos. Be very wary. Be very careful.
The next one is Aries.
Ooh, Aries. Ooh, you have a very good week coming up.
Any reasons why?
I just cut the intuition. This is I'm a practicing intuitive. I'm very intuitive. I just get the sense. Just get the sense that it's gonna be a good week for the Aquarius. I don't need to justify myself. And that is my message to all Aries.
Did you say Aquarius?
I said Aries. It's my intuition says Aries. This week you need to follow your intuition, like I just did. It's my intuition that you will have a good week. So follow your intuition and you will have a good week. That was great, wasn't it?
Yeah, that was quite good, that one.
Yeah, that one was quite good.
All right. We've got some questions. If Chutney is considered a large animal in Chutasian terms?
Yes, I am. I'm not fat.
No, you're not fat. You're just sizely.
That's not a word.
Dragons are only 4 Earth feet tall. Chutney is right. Planet size is relative. Chutney, serious, Sarah the future.
Yes, I know. This is my alternative career. It's either YouTuber and theme park owner, or fortune teller. or all of them. I can use my fortune telling to fund my theme park.
Okay. Right. Yeah, beware of people wearing red jumpers in this heat. Yeah, avoid them.
Yes, it might be smelly. Or they might be crazy.
Okay. Rising Action seems happy with the great advice you gave about following their intuition.
Yes, I know. It was very good. I'm a bit worried now that I've set the bar too high, and future times when I do this segment, I will have to think of more things.
Yes, you'll have to keep thinking of things. That's how it works.
Yes, I don't like thinking of things.
What have you been doing then?
I don't know. Okay.
Rising Action is going to have a great week. Yeah. All right. Well, since we seem to be on a roll with Chutney,
with my great intuition,
maybe you can lead everybody in a guided meditation. Again, I shall take a sip of water. In fact, we can even do this slightly ASMR.
Yes,
No.
this is very relaxing.
Okay. Chutney can do a little ASMR with her hand.
Welcome to Chutney's ASMR segment. Hello, everybody. Welcome to my ASMR segment.
I don't know what that sounds like. It's probably not doing anything.
I don't know if that did anything.
I don't think that did anything. It was just you playing the drums. Yes, I was going to take just a drink of water before we begin the guided meditation. I'm a bit worried that Chutney's ASMR segment might become might become something as well. Do you want a drink?
I don't drink. I'm a dry object.
Okay. Hold on. Okay. Let us begin. Hold on. Let me just... Ugh. My hair is like all stuck on me. Chutney doesn't have that problem because she's all cratchy. Right. Okay. There's more chatter going on, but I'll just let the people chatter.
Yes. It's their problem if they don't have a relaxing evening because they miss my guided meditation.
Okay. Is that how you're going to be? Maybe is there anything more we can do to make you seem enlightened? I don't think we can. I don't have any good props. I only have like a tissue. I don't know.
What's this got to do with meditation? I feel like an idiot.
I don't know. I was just trying to allow you to embody your role as a meditation leader by giving you a costume.
Okay. I don't know. Does this take away from the experience? Okay. My viewers do not care. Okay. Take a moment Take a moment to ground yourself in your body, whether that be a human body or a stuffed animal body. Can feel your skin, or if you're a Chutasian hedgehog, you can feel your polyestus integumentum, otherwise known as skin. Take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. And take a deep breath in. And take a deep breath out. And just let out all the stresses of the week. Okay. Now you are ready to begin meditation. Imagine you are on a lovely sandy beach on the top bit of Hogho, next to the mountains. Where are the beaches next to the mountains?
I don't know. You made the map.
Okay. Imagine you are on a sandy beach next to the mountains in Hogho.
Actually, it's slug tag. Shh.
Imagine you are on a sandy beach next to the mountains in Slugtag. And you are eating an ice lolly. It's a strawberry ice lolly. And as you eat the ice lolly, it's a cool ice lolly. It's a cool ice lolly on a hot day. Feel the sand on your feet and how annoying the sand is. Feel the gentle sand. And draw your attention, bring your attention back to the ice lolly. And notice that the ice lolly has begun dripping down your hand. Drip, drip, drip. getting closer and closer to your white t-shirt. Drip, drip, drip. Feel the drip of the ice lolly slowly dribbling down your arm. Focus only on the sensations of the ice lolly dripping down your arm. And bring to the center of your mind the sheer panic of how will you ever get the red stain out of your white shirt. And feel the relief that for a moment you did not think about your job, your dying relatives, how genuinely unhappy you are. And for a moment, all you were thinking about was not staining your white t-shirt. Think about the beauty of this moment. In a world full of chaos and distractions, for that moment on that imagined beach, next to the mountains. Shh, next to the mountains in Schusslicki. For a moment, your mind was focused only on that one thing. The ice lolly dripping down your arm. And think to yourself, what lesson can I take from this going forward into my week? And let me know what lesson you think you take from this going forward into your week.
You meant to say that?
No, this is just a guided meditation. I am guiding you. I'm guiding you. Do you feel guided? Okay, now bring your focus back to the beach. Someone has handed you a tissue. Yes, exactly, the tissue came in handy.
Oh my god, you just got lipstick on you. Oh my god. Oh no.
Oh no, this is a very bad thing that just happened.
Oh no. Okay, well, Chutney is permanently red on her nose now. Oh, hold on, it's coming off. Oh god, oops.
It's okay, this is a live TV. I got red on my nose!
Oh, okay, well, I think it's not too bad. There we go.
Well, I don't think this is a very good meditation.
Okay, you're only slightly pink. Oh no. It's not visible on the stream.
That's all we care about.
That's all we care about. Aw. I think you'll be alright.
I've got lipstick on my nose.
That's so funny. Like, we were literally talking about something being stained with red, and then she fell onto my face, and then your face got stained with red.
I think I am a prophet. I am the prophet Yentachuk, returned to save the Chutasian hedgehogs from their fate, as evidenced by my ability to predict my own demise.
Yes. Oh, poor Chutney. Poor Chutney. I don't think. Let's try to show. It just looks a lot fluffier now. I've rubbed it a lot.
Okay, well, okay. Well, that was a very stressful ending to our meditation segment. But I also slightly predicted the future. I'm a bit scared that I slightly predicted the future. I'm very intuitive today.
Aw.
Stop touching my nose. I think that we need a glass screen between me and you. I think I should do the stream on my own. It's too dangerous to be near you.
Aw. Okay, it's okay. Actually, it's fine. I think it's not. It's really mostly gone. It's just slightly pink. I think very, very slightly. Almost no one would notice it except me. Yeah. I think when she has her next bath, I think it will go back to normal.
It better fucking go back to normal. I mean, are we allowed to swear? Okay.
Right. So
that was a very, very stressful segment.
yeah.
I'm a little bit stunned, to be honest. And it was captured on camera as well.
I know. All right, let's read this. So, Chutney, this is going to be some of the feedback on your meditation segment. Clear mind, think of nothing. What's the American translation for ice lolly? Oh no, we didn't think about international appeal.
Oh my goodness! You mean you don't call it an ice lolly in America? Oh my god! What do you call it then? A lolly ice?
No.
An ice pop. Oh my god, they call it an ice pop or a popsicle.
Well, I don't know, because is that just frozen ice? It's like on a stick, you know, like it's like an ice cream, but not an ice cream because it's like an ice lolly.
Yes, it's an ice lolly and ice cream.
All right. Hope no rocks fall off that mountain. I'm not good at meditation. Chutney can guide the Hogfather's sled. Oh, well, so Father Hog, which I believe you're talking about Father Hog, the legend of Father Hog, he carries a gift train through the sky, and the gift train is pulled by giant white hamsters from the Chutasian Great Externa. So, of course. So you can look at the video of that. I actually did some drawings of that. So yeah. All right, Chutney had a lot of stress to breathe out during the meditation. Did she have a stressful week?
Every week is stressful.
1 week closer to your theme park.
Yes, 1 week closer to my theme park.
All right. I think ice lollies called popsicle. Chutney had so much stress, her nose bled. Oh,
it was lipstick.
Thought they said don't put lipstick on a pig.
Oh my god, that is so rude.
Don't put lipstick on a hedgehog.
Yeah, like putting lipstick on a hog. That's funny.
Yeah. So the Mighty Boosh, yeah, I watched one episode of it, because I think that, or I'm not totally sure, but I think that Noel Fielding and I have like the same personality type in MBTI, which would be ENFP, but I don't know much about that. I don't know. So I had watched the Mighty Boosh. Trying to think. I think it was just like so crazy. I think it's one of the questions is, if I wasn't Sarah and Chutney, would I watch Sarah and Chutney? So it's a bit complicated. It's not like being Sarah and Chutney, would I watch someone else's channel of them with their cuddly toy? Because I probably would, because I would be like, oh, you're like me. But if I didn't have Chutney and I wasn't doing the cuddly toy thing, would I watch Sarah and Chutney? I don't know. So there's a question there. Like, so the Mighty Boosh, I think I just remember finding it very, very weird. But then I think, is that the experience that people are having when they watch me? So that's why I'm questioning, is it because I am alike that I don't necessarily... It wasn't that I didn't enjoy it. I just thought it was strange. I didn't watch the next one. So, I mean, maybe it wasn't... I only watched the first episode. Maybe some of the episodes are better than others. But yeah, that's what I'm questioning. Like, is it because I am alike the Mighty Boosh or something like that I didn't find it funny? But I don't know, would I find my own humor funny? I don't know. It's a philosophical questions. So yeah. Yeah, going back to the ice pop stuff. Yeah, it's juice based. It would be like frozen juice and sugar and stuff like that. Yeah. All right. So, if we don't have any more questions, I can go back to looking at some notes for a little bit. How long have we been going for? An hour and yeah, so we'll probably just do a little bit more, maybe just a couple more of the characters I was talking about from the notes, and then we will call it a day. But before then, we can have a little look. Sean wrote before, oh sorry, did any particularly evil Chutasian mythical creatures escape to any other universe? Has Chutney seen any in his travels? Any particularly evil Chutasian mythical creatures escape to any other universe? I mean, I wouldn't say it's impossible. I mean, how would they know? Well, the only sort of, I mean, the mythical creatures, the ones I can think of is I know that they have like a kind of Bigfoot kind of character. So if we go back to the map, this is probably more interesting actually than me talking about random characters. If I show you here on the map, you see the Blanket Mountains in the middle. At the base of the Blanket Mountains, there is a tavern which is called the Hairy Arms. The hairy arms.
Yes, very good.
And it's rumored that the reason why it was called the hairy arms is that it was based around this legend of a local creature who was kind of like a Bigfoot kind of thing. But it wouldn't be a Bigfoot. I don't. Well, it would be some sort of Chutasian Bigfoot. I don't know. Bigger than Chutney. I don't know. Hairier than Chutney. I don't know. So I don't know exactly what that creature looks like. But clearly there were sightings of something in the Blanket Mountains that led to the naming of that tavern. And yeah, and so, I mean, nobody ever really solves, I mean, they never really solved anything to do with Bigfoot on Earth. And I don't think they've really solved anything to do that with Chutasia. So it could be, maybe one of the many Chutasian theories is that Bigfoot escaped into another universe or something. Their Bigfoot, I don't know what he's called. But in Chutasia, these are not called feet. They're called foes, as in it's like a toe and a foot. It's like a merged toe and foot. So you have your fossicles on your foe. So I wonder if he's called Big Foe.
Yes, he's called Big Foe. Big Foe. Yes, so it's possible. Some people, some hedgehog people, they believe that Big Foe, the reason why we haven't been able to solve the mystery of Big Foe is because he might have escaped into another universe. Thank you for reminding me.
But yeah, exactly. I mean, if he had, why is it, well, hairy arms? Yeah, but these are not arms though, are they? They're hand things.
I would say don't get too technical on these things.
Okay. I mean, some of the hedgehogs do have different anatomy. So she has foes and hand things, and things, 3 things on one hand thing, 3 fossicles on one foe. But it is true that some of the hedgehogs, for example, Alfredo, let me get him. Every time we do the stream, I have like all of the toys there. I just don't show them. We can ask for anyone and we can invite them in. But of course, Alfredo has slightly different anatomy. Actually, I would say that Alfredo has legs and some sort of feet. I mean, he doesn't even have toes. He just has a big...
He has a big foe. Oh my god. Oh my god, are you big foe? Ah! We've solved the mystery. It was my daddy all along. He is Big Foe.
What's happening? I don't understand. I've just arrived. What's happening? I can't understand what I'm being accused of. Is this one of your little games, Chutney?
Stop it, Daddy. We're live on YouTube.
Oh, okay. This all seems very fun. So yeah, so some of them do have, I would call that an arm. It's sort of an arm hand. Maybe we called a harm or an heart. What am I trying to blend? Arm and hand. And it would just be called an and or an armand. An and. I think we're going to call it an and. That's funny. Well, anyway.
It doesn't quite work with the hairy arms tavern idea. But yes, things are very complicated and you don't always understand how everything works.
Okay. Some things were happening. So that was answering the question around whether something might have escaped. Perhaps the Big Foe, legend of Big Foe, might have escaped. Sean mentioned another YouTube channel called Creganford, which I didn't know about, but I've looked up a description if you want to share what you think about this. Tracing the world's oldest stories to their source, Creganford follows folklore, stories of myth, legend and folktale back through evidence, historical linguistics, archaeogenetics, archaeology, and the phylogenetics of narrative to ask how far our stories really reach and what they remember. Okay, that sounds like an interesting channel. And so what was that in relation to? You were saying like that this is the sort of Chutasian equivalent, sort of less, it's done in a Chutasian fashion. I mean, this is all very Chutasian, what's happening.
Yes, do you mean it's rubbish?
No, I didn't say it was rubbish. I was just saying it's Chutasian in style and in culture.
Okay.
If Sarah was less well-mannered and a bit more crude, I could see how she's similar to Noel Fielding. She has such a rich imaginary world with such fantastic characters. Thank you. Yeah, there was someone, who else? There was another comedian. I can't remember who it was. Oh, yeah. So I would say that yes. So I'm not claiming that like I am like Noel Fielding or something like that, but I just think, as you say, like if you had to group people together in vague categories, yes, you might put me there because of the imaginary creative aspect with characters. The other side of it is, I think, or I'm not totally sure, I think Russell Brand may also be the same type as me. I'm not totally sure. And I suppose that could capture, you could, if you wanted, say that captures the sort of philosophical side of it, because I think that actually, there we go. I knocked over my microphone.
Very Chutasian, very Chutasian.
Yeah, because I think some of his stand-up is like very crude and things like that. It's not what I would do, you know.
We're very innocent and we play with cuddly toys.
Chutney actually has like what we call like the blurry filter. So actually sometimes she can't even hear swear words, or she can't really, you know, there are a lot of topics that Chutney, she can't hear. She just like, you know, she's like,
why are you saying blurry things?
Like she can't hear it. She has like a child lock on her brain, on her psychoplasm. And so, so yeah, but some of Russell Brand's comedy, actually, I think I actually saw Russell Brand live at some point. It must have been a very long time ago with my family. And I remember he did all this thing about different philosophers and Nietzsche and things like that. So you could say that, you know, the sort of philosophical element, because I think there's a bit of sort of psychology and philosophy happening here. I hope so, at least, because that's what I called the stream.
Well, is something defined by its name? Is something defined by its intentions? You gave it the name philosophical world building, and you intended to do philosophical world building. But does that in itself say that you did or you didn't do it?
Thank you, Chutney.
I think I've saved you there.
So we have a question, and it's actually a question that Chutney has received in the past, not on YouTube, but in real life, many times. Chutney has been tormented by the question, the ongoing question. Chutney, what are your thoughts on Sonic the Hedgehog?
Who? I don't know whom is this Sonic that you talk of? Who is this Sonic the Hedgehog? Who is this famous hedgehog? I've never heard of him. He must be so famous that I've not even heard of him.
You have heard of Sonic.
I've never heard of Sonic. I don't know who this person is. It's nothing to do with me.
I think one of the theories is that so
to be clear, Sonic the Hedgehog is not from Chutasia. And of course, I don't think you should even use that in the same sentence. Chutney the Hedgehog will one day be more recognized than Sonic the Hedgehog. I'm on my prophecies today. You know, I had this great intuition about Rising Action having a fantastic week ahead. You will have to tell us next week whether you actually did. And then I prophesized in real time that I was going to get lipstick on my face, which I did. And now I am making this bold statement. One day, Chutney the Hedgehog will be more famous than Sonic the Hedgehog. And people will be asking Sonic, what do you think about Chutney? And they'll be saying, hey Sonic, I just have a question for you. Can you tell us what you think about Chutney the Hedgehog? Yeah!
Okay, so you're not so comfortable with Sonic?
Nah.
There was some theory in the past that maybe there are some hedgehogs that do live in Chusella. So Chusella, the neighbouring part to Chutasia, and that maybe those hedgehogs could be blue. But I don't think that necessarily means that that's where Sonic the Hedgehog is from.
Sonic the Hedgehog is not real. Sonic the Hedgehog is a video game character. It's in a completely different dimension to me. I am actually real. I am real. I'm a real toy. And I have a YouTube channel.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Sonic is a digital image. He is a video game character, and he. Why must my life be forever in the shadow of Sonic the Hedgehog?
Isn't Sonic the Hedgehog's sort of companion called Shadow?
Why must I talk about Sonic the Hedgehog accidentally?
So she's having a small meltdown now. Are there blue hedgehogs in Chutasia? So I think that we answered that. I don't think there are blue hedgehogs in Chutasia. There might be blue hedgehogs in Chisella, but that's not to say, it might just be a coincidence that they're blue. It could be that, I guess, maybe when those hedgehogs went to Chisella and then there was some sort of genetic branching thing, or it could be to do with the blueberries, you know. I'm going to sneeze in a minute, that's why I'm talking slowly.
You're going to sneeze. It's not very professional to sneeze.
Okay, well,
in Chutasia, it's considered polite to hold in your sneeze.
Yeah, but I can't help it. So it may be that, as you know, actually that doesn't make sense. I was going to say something that didn't make sense.
But it's not that everything on this stream makes sense. That would be an insult to me if it didn't make sense. It needs to make logical sense, Mummy.
I was going to say, but so maybe you can correct it for me. I was going to say that because the Queen banned blueberries, and we know from earlier on in the stream that there was Carrutso, the opera singer, who ate lots of carrots.
Not carrots,
carotten, sorry. And he turned orange. It could be that the blue hedgehogs in Chisella are blue because they ate too many blueberries. But then that doesn't really make sense because it's only recently that the Queen banned blueberries. But I'm thinking, like, if it's a genetic disposition to not liking the flavour of blueberries, maybe in the past, a very, very long time ago, there was another monarch who kind of like banned blueberries. History repeats itself. And maybe that was when those blueberry-loving hedgehogs went to Chisella and they had to kind of like move there because they couldn't live without their blueberries, so they had to leave.
Yes, I couldn't have said it better myself.
Why didn't you tell us that before?
I didn't need to. You just told him it
now. Sean is telling us that Chutney is far better than Sonic.
Brilliant! I love Sean. Thank you, Sean. Thank you, Sean. I will remember you. When I'm bigger than Sonic the Hedgehog, I will say, yes. Yes, I am.
If you wanted to play a prank on Chutney, you could retroactively make Sonic real in Chutasia.
No, that's not fair.
Yes, I could do an influential leak to leak Sonic the Hedgehog on Chutasia.
No. That's not very friendly.
They did say just kidding.
Yeah, just kidding. Yeah, just kidding.
That's what she does when she's angry. And that's why she has like slight rips in her arms as well. What's the oldest fairy tale that Chutasians tell their children? So, I don't know which one is the oldest one, but I do know some of the fairy tales. And if I open my notes, which I have open, because I'm clever. Oh no, I don't have them open. Here it is. There it is. There we go. Chutasia notebook. We are... Right. Ooh, live stream is still there. Chutasia notebook is here. I can tell you some of the names of some of the fairy tales. I only sort of have some of the titles, but I think from the titles you can get a pretty good idea of some of the Chutasian fun. So I'm going in my Worldbuilding Bible to books and writings. Actually, while I'm here, I'll just tell you some of the books and writings of Chutasia. And then if there are any that are particularly interesting to you, then Chutney has a week, wink wink, to try to remember what the story is.
Yeah, try to remember what the story is.
Yeah. So we have Sorry. I'm not a pro yet. Hold on. Let's put me there. Put this here. Open that. Oh, I can't wait to look back at that thing before where I was animating Chutney holding that that pink square. Right, here we go. Books and writings. In the category of fiction, we have The Tale of Mr. Earmuck Earfun, Romance Edition. That is available on my channel. The Fairy Tale of Princess Bolonina. Bolonina?
Bolonina. It's like bolognese.
Like bolognese. Bolonina, sorry. The Fairy Tale of Princess Bolonina by Hogito Slugasume. So Hogito Slugasume is somebody. But the link doesn't work. Anyway, we'll have to talk about Hogito a bit later. There is, of course, this one is for children. Iggy Piggy, Froggy Poggy, and the Lemon Mayonnaise Pie by Hogito Slugasume. And so this guy, Hogito Slugasume, he is the Chutasia renowned, I wanted to say world renowned, but I don't know how you say world renowned if it's Chutasia renowned. The Chutasia renowned scholar on the works of Erinacieux. So to fill in for anyone who doesn't know or doesn't remember, Erinacieux is the most famous philosophical thinker in Chutasia, and he is a ancestor of Chutney. And we are remembering many of the quotes of Erinacieux and writing them down. And Hogito Slugasume is he is alive still in Chutasia, on the Chutasia timeline, and he is the one who has all the knowledge about Erinacieux and the wisdom of Erinacieux. And so he wrote this story, Iggy Piggy, Froggy Poggy, and the Lemon Mayonnaise Pie, to communicate key philosophical teachings to children.
Yes, he did.
But you don't remember how the story goes. It would be great if we could know that.
I'm working on it.
In non-fiction, so these are exactly. So Erinacieux, he actually there's only one book of his writings, but there's sort of a collection. It's called the book by Erinacieux is called Chutasian Wisdom, Volume 1, Seeking Wisdom and Finding This Book by Erinacieux Parakin. I think that's how you say his name. Parakin.
This is embarrassing. You don't even know what you're saying.
Okay. So the joke there...
Don't explain the joke. Just let it be funny on its own.
The joke there is that there's only one book. He only ever publishes one book, but he does call it Volume 1. Seeking Wisdom and Finding This Book.
Yes, he doesn't like to assume that the book was actually wise.
And then, the book by Hogito Slugasume about Erinacieux, his is called Potato Life, Potato Mind by the School of Erinacieux. And that is, they looked into the quotes of Erinacieux and the philosophy of Erinacieux, and then they applied it to the War of the Potato. So the War of the Potato is this kind of like defining event in recent Chutasian history. Chutney was born during the War of the Potato. I've mentioned it in lots of my videos. And so what Hogito Slugasume did was he sort of interpreted the works of Erinacieux for a modern audience in the context of the War of the Potato. Some folklore and legendary tales. So we have the tale of Mr. Earmuck Earfun, which is on the channel. Hedgehog to be continued. I think he is mentioned in one of my videos. Hedgehog to be continued. In one of the two videos that I was doing about the War of the Potato, we mentioned that guy. There is a ghost story. The Howl of Howlston is a popular ghost story. Yes, you have the folk tale of Gunta and the Crab. Gunta and the Crab is actually written, but I think let's do Gunta and the Crab next week. So when you see the little video pop up saying that I've got a stream scheduled, you can click notify because you don't want to miss Gunta and the Crab. And Chutney has a crab hat. That's why I don't want to tell it right now, is that Chutney has a hat that has a crab on it. And I think that she should be wearing the crab hat when we tell the tale of Gunta and the Crab. The Tale of Soapy Sleeves, the Myth of Agapaga, The Flunch. These are just different folklore tales. Actually, a lot of these are, I know who they are, but I don't know why I didn't write my notes better. But yeah, so you can learn about the myth of Agapaga. You can learn about the character the Flunch. I think in a minute I'll read you who the Flunch is. The Hungry Shaver. Yes. The Riddle of Schnoodlebumsky. So the Riddle of Schnoodlebumsky I told in last week's stream, and that will eventually, I think, I will extract it and make it a proper video. And controversial to classify. So far on my notes, I had fiction, non-fiction, folklore / legends and tales. And then I've got a section at the bottom called controversial to classify, because the Chutasians don't necessarily agree on whether it's fictional or not, which is the Tales of Chutasian. So the Tales of Chutasian, again, I've started to detail on the channel, so in some of the previous streams. The Tales of Chutasian is a book that Chutney writes as she is travelling through Chutasia. And you might say then, well, if Chutney wrote it, well, then clearly it's fiction, right? But a lot of the Chutasians refuse to accept that Chutney wrote it.
This is very annoying. I wrote a book and then they say I didn't write it.
They say that it's like a cover-up by the Chutasian royals. They think that Chutasian, the character that Chutney writes about, is actually a real hedgehog, and that he's trapped in the dungeons of the Chutasian palace. And I can't remember all the weird details of this, but that Chutasian is like trapped in the royal palace, and like he's published this book because he needs help or something like that, and it's not actually Chutney. Chutney is pretending that she wrote it in order to get his works out there. Or I think we'll have to talk about that in more detail. But yeah, so that's too controversial to classify. Would be the Tales of Chutasian. Let's look again at the chat. Yes, I was going to tell you about the Flunch. While we're at it, I wonder which section I put the Flunch in. Did I put him as an individual? Does he count as an individual? The Flunch. Oh, it says, Chutney, the Flunch is a Chutasian folklore character with regional variation. The Flunch eats little hoglets who don't go to bed on time. So hoglets, of course, being baby hedgehogs. So yeah, if you're a hoglet and you don't go to bed when mummy and daddy tell you to, the Flunch might eat you.
Ah, not the Flunch. Of course, I don't believe in the Flunch.
I don't believe in the Flunch.
I always go to bed on time, just in case.
I don't think you go to bed on time, Chitty. You have a terrible sleep schedule.
I have your sleep schedule.
I think that relates to the question that was asked before about, whether if I'm ill, does she feel ill? Or if I'm sad, does she feel sad? I answered that earlier. If I'm asleep, is she asleep? It's interesting. we don't know. Well, we normally go to sleep at the same time. Sometimes she seems to be sleeping. Like sometimes I'm like, oh, she's sleeping. But she might be faking it. It's hard to tell because she doesn't have eyelids.
Yes, it would be easier to tell if I had eyelids. Then you'd know if I was sleeping or not.
Let me read the chat again. Sean says, my microwave is not interdimensional. I tried to send a Sonic toy to Chutasia last week and all I got back was a blob of blue melted plastic.
Yes.
Well, although I do have to say that the way that the microwave works is the microwave is not actually necessary for interdimensional time travel. It's rather a state of mind that you need to put yourself into in order to be able to enter the time soup. And that state of mind is like the state of mind of like imminent death. So it does work. If you go in a microwave, you're like, I'm about to get microwaved. So it does work. So Chutney actually was microwaved. Maybe that's why your eyes are a bit melted.
Yeah, my eyes are melted because somebody put me in the tumble dryer. Nothing to do with the microwave.
So actually, Sean, you might have sent Sonic somewhere. I'm not sure that you will have sent him to Chutasia, but you might have sent him somewhere in the time soup. But I don't know. Must schedule deliveries around Chutney's commands to watch the stream. Thank you. Is Chutasian time faster, slower, or the same speed as Earth time? I'm curious if Chutney is exactly the same age as you, or if she is older or younger than you due to how time flows differently. Well, it's complicated. So I did actually work out at some point when I was trying to be like other people, I was trying to make like a timeline of Chutasian history, and I did make one. I was trying to use some like sort of proper software actually, to kind of log on a timeline of different events, and I did do it. But obviously, as part of that, I started having to put years in it, and really, as you've seen, my style is our style, the Chutasian way is not necessarily highly precise and highly detailed, and the Chutasian way is that sometimes things don't really seem to make logical sense on Earth, and we shouldn't judge Chutasia by Earth standards. I hope nothing happened then. Something flashed on my computer, but yeah, I think I'm still here. So I had to make this timeline. That's such a funny. Anyway, I like what you've written, Sean, and I'll respond to you in a minute. So in terms of the time, I think we calculated, so Chutasian years, again, there is a video that I did about the Chutasian months of the year. I think there are 300 days in a Chutasian year, but I'm not sure how many. I have this feeling that there are 25 hours in a Chutasian day. I'm not sure.
Yes. How long is an hour?
Yeah, so I think there is Chutasian time telling, but I suppose that Chutney tells us things that she's interested in. And she doesn't seem to have remembered very well exactly the time system. But yeah, I'm pretty sure that we calculated that when Chutney came into the microwave, I think she was 14 years old in Chutasia. Although I'm not.
I don't remember.
Yeah, we have written it down. I will have to find it. I think she's like 13 or 14. But in Chutasia, they have a different trajectory of maturity. And I think especially the ones who have the genetics of the Erinacieux misto men, so they're sort of fat and podgy, they have like a slower maturity rate. So Chutney is 22 on so Chutney would be 13 or 14, I think, I can't remember, 13 or 14 in Chutasian years, and then she's 22 in Earth years. But Chutney considers herself a baby, but it's hard. I mean, she doesn't really seem like a baby because she's talking and she's telling all these jokes, but Chutney is really just a big baby. So I think the kind of idea of like maturity and age like sort of doesn't apply if you're like a Chutasian hedgehog, because you're like a toy. So she's sort of like a like eternal baby, kind of like.
I just want to be loved.
So I don't really know if age as a concept really makes sense in the Chutasian world. I guess that's what I'm saying, because I think when Chutney was like 8 or something in Chutasia, she like founded a university and did a PhD and things like that. So I think there's something. It might be that Chutney's not totally reliable with what she's telling about all of her achievements. But yeah, it's interesting how that works, and sort of getting older. And so whether me and Chutney are the same age. Well, it's interesting because it means that when I bought Chutney, I bought Chutney's body, and then her essence came into her body when I was 9 years old. Was Chutney older or younger than me then? I think we're sort of like, age isn't a thing, sort of. It's a bit of a weird thing to say. But I guess you mean... Yeah, the concept of age in terms of the connotations that we have around it, in terms of growing up and sort of mental maturity and things like that. I think it doesn't fit in the Chutasian world. I think that's like a sort of earth concept. But I guess if you're asking about physical age, well, then it becomes complicated because obviously her physical age here is 22, but her essence is older. But then you have the combining of the Chutasian year and the Chutasian time.
I think I don't know.
You think you don't know?
I think it's time to say, thank you for your brilliant question. We don't know. We don't know, and you can propose an answer if you want. If you can do better than Sarah, you can take the channel.
I don't know. Thank you. This is a very interesting question that I've kind of grappled with myself. I mean, our relationship is that, she calls me mummy, right? And I feel like I look after her in some ways. She is a baby. She wants to be a baby. But she's not a baby. She has a PhD. She's founded a university. She's written a book. She's traveled around the whole of Chutasia. She's had jobs. She what else did you do? You've founded some businesses, you've traveled the world, and then you've come here and you've lived a life with me. Like, Chutney's super wise. So it's sort of funny that Chutney is the baby. I think you should be helping me, Chutney.
No, but I'm a baby.
So I think it's interesting the relationship. That, yeah. I mean, I know that the sort of philosophical bit that we did about that is like when Chutney was in Chutasia, her mum, the queen, sort of didn't treat her very nicely. And so part of when you go in the time soup is kind of, I think we like to say the time soup is seasoned. The time soup is seasoned by, it can be seasoned by your intentions and your desires. And so one of the theories is that when Chutney went into the time soup, she had this desire to have a mum, like a nice mum who would look after her, not her mum that she had in Chutasia, who's a bit mean. Oh, I've got the hiccups. I don't know what's happening. So that could be why Chutney, part of the reason why Chutney was attracted to me, or I don't really know exactly how it all works, but she had this intention that she wanted to have a mum that loved her or something like that, and that's why she came to me, a 9-year-old.
Yes, but the time soup can knows everything.
Does it? So the past, the future, and the present all exist within the time soup?
Yes.
So what the time soup would know, even though I was 9, that I would get older and be a mummy? I don't get it.
I think you're thinking too hard. This isn't the Chutasian way. The Chutasian way is to say, I don't know.
I don't know. Okay.
And let's talk about potatoes instead.
Yeah. Right. Would the flow of the time noodles impact the speed of how time flows in different worlds? I'm almost certain that yes, some of the noodles might be heavier than others and shorter than others and things like that, spinning around in the time soup. And then just to acknowledge Sean's thing, I think is very funny. So Sean said that he was joking, but he was jokingly saying that he put a Sonic the Hedgehog plastic toy into the microwave, and when he opened it, it was melted. And he was saying that he thought maybe it was the Chutasians sending back a message.
Yes, as they should.
That's very funny. All right, I think we'll start to wrap up because I can feel the energy. I can feel. You're not happy with me, Chutney. It must be tough being reliant on a human to sort of do things for you. That's why I feel sort of sorry for Chutney sometimes, because she can't move on her own. She can't talk on her own. She's relying on me. So like, if I'm tired. So maybe again, this is sort of interacting more and more with this question about our emotions and the interaction. So at this point, I'm like, oh, I'm depleted. But Chutney wants to keep going. So clearly, there's an interaction. But she, I suppose, is surfacing the part of me that's like, oh, I want to keep going. I want to keep doing the stream. I'm playing with my cuddly toys.
Why does it talk like that?
I don't know. I was mocking myself. So obviously there's some bit of me that wants to ignore my needs, essentially. Oh, Chutney, oh no, I can see. I just followed the train of thought. Yeah, exactly. So the bit of me that's like, yeah, that's it's not that it doesn't care about my needs, but I guess it's a need among many needs. So I have the need to be creative and to play with the hedgehogs and to do the YouTube. But then I also suppose I have the need to like rest and relaxation. And so there are competing needs. And I suppose maybe that's what's being acted out right here, is precisely that, some sort of competing need. I'm trying to be sort of aware of my needs and advocate for myself and say, maybe now it's time to wrap up because I'm feeling a bit tired. But then this bit is like, it's like,
no, keep going. We got to keep going. Keep doing it. More. Oh my
God. It's kind of an anxious part though, to be honest. So like I should say to that part of myself, like, it's okay. We streamed for, how long did we do it for? We streamed for nearly 2 hours, Chutney, right? I've proven that I'm coming back every week to do this, and we'll be here again next week doing Gunther and the Crab, the story Gunther and the Crab. It's fine. We need to relax and have the time on our own to recuperate and have all of this inspiration so that we can do a great live stream next week.
You seem very suspicious. I think she doesn't care about my theme park.
So anyway, there was
the psychological part of this stream.
All right. So yeah, we'll end now. So yeah, next week we'll do Gunther and the Crab. If you think of anything else, any questions or anything that come up, you can comment them on a video and I'll write them down for the stream. Thank you so much for interacting with me and making this a fun experience and a fun time. So from us, thank you, and see you next week. I never really know when this cuts off, so I'm just we're just doing a dance to be sure that we don't accidentally cut off the stream mid speaking. Okay, good. End stream.